And the winner to play the Si Junhui or Hossein Vafai, they're in action later.
Which was the international. Ding went on to win it, but that's where Susa picked up the bulk of the points, which is the reason he's playing here, because you know that. But it's hard against Ding Junhui for any other player, of course. From where any.
So you qualified for this event.
Yeah, I mean, he's like so many of the Chinese players based in the UK, but the Xi'an Grand Prix and mixed season, but yeah, very hard, isn't it, to consistently get results, given how high the standard is at the top level.
X5. That was back in 2016. Earned him a 2-year via Q School.
Strangely, the match I remember most of is early one at the start of his comeback. And then in the next round, people thought, well, Susa would be possibly the man. But
there was a lot riding on it for Su because he needed the victory to secure his tour position.
Played a good shot there, hasn't he? I mean, I know. I suppose he did quite well there, Ding, to... Well, again, Ding Junhui looking for elevation. He's done quite well, but he... It's always a different sort of dynamic when a frame is played out in the... So, if you like, Susa early from this visit. So, blue on its spot. Plenty of reds in the middle of the table. It's a...
But it was a return to something approaching.
Seven.
Yes, and that's a big prize money, distance of matches, prestige. Of course, some events in Saudi might have overtaken.
And it took care of his season, certainly in terms of these Players Series events. He's 8th on the one-year list, so more important for Ding at this stage of his career was confirmation in his own mind that he still had Bake, which he hadn't done since he won his third UK title in 2019.
Tables look to be running beautifully here to stroke that shot. It sounds an odd thing to say, but I don't really think he wanted to be down on this red. He'd like to be down at the... That's pretty well played. So now, I think he'll try and get himself onto a colour to...
35.
Well, that's not bad. A little bit high on the black. Got beautiful touches. And it's been the kind of break where he, spent a lot of...
47.
for his opponent.
Thank you. 55.
We'll need this colour and a further red.
Well, this has been no-nonsense stuff from Ding. Susa took on the red. Do with this in as well, 59 left. But he's queuing very sweetly right from the get-go today.
It ends with one chance required when the reds go like that, and the mistake was made and Ding has mopped it up from us along the way. So should he make a total clearance, it won't be the highest by any means, but it's one in the frame, that's all that really counts.
No century for Ding Junhui, but that's... And among the highlights on Thursday, a blockbuster clash between the good friends Judd Trump, world #1, and Jack.
Well, that was quite a long way off. He's done well there, he's played it gently. Good shot. Very good.
Seven.
It's not particularly reasonable. Still on one red, but the bunch.
He knew that was in from the moment he struck it. He was on the walk, but in a positive fashion.
Somewhere on this shot. Well, no red has dropped in, but I mean, he could hardly have finished. Goodness me, I think yeah, just a thin edge to the left side of that red. It's not a particularly good shot to let that red go down the other end, I know. Seems to me that Ding's best chance of winning something now will be an Asian event, because he has won.
Second frame running. Susa has Mr. Red to that left centre.
Thank you. 1. Seven.
Well, this is how he likes them. I don't think Ding Junhui close. He's a beautiful player. So if you keep leaving him in, and that's been really how the first two frames have gone, fear the worst. I suspect that's what he is aiming for here. Yeah. Didn't get a very good contact himself, so there's a red 2 right middle, which is tricky. It's an absolute gem, isn't it? And Ding is such a good player to the middle pockets.
Cued. And could well be a frame winner, given the state of the reds. Just for a moment there, Susa.
27.
I played around with running side off 2 cushions there. You know, it would be a surprise if something happened soon in the way of breaking. There's lots of different ways to play this game, but he plays it where he gets behind the next ball so well that positional excellence. Whereas other players, I mean, even Judd Trump, you know, he's fairly adventurous breaks, sometimes loses a cue ball, pots his way back into in the same way this time. But again, lovely position on the red. 31. Well, there you are. He leapt up in the air and it's gone astray. The wheel's fallen. not resting on that shot.
Under his body as he cues this.
It's one of those shots that Ding played there. The harder you hit that with topspin, the less likely.
Well cued again. He's going to need another red to make this frame safe.
Two. Through the little gap. Nicely done. So, as you say, probably not going to mean a thing. Needs a colour.
12.
And it'll be 2-0 to the greatest player. And very popular here in Hong Kong as well.
That was demonstrated by... Just as impressive as what he's won in the game is the way in which he's been such a great ambassador for the China. The strength and depth that we now see with 9 players from China involved in this. So much of it's down to this man.
23.
And he's cueing, bar that one aberration on the red just now, quite beautifully at the start of this match. Malfunction perhaps with his sponsorship label. That's about the only thing that has gone wrong for Ding Junhui so far. 2 excellent frames from him. Off in frame 3, looking to go 3 up with 4 to play. He did miss a red to that left centre, which gave Susa a sniff at getting. But that's a terrific pot from Susa, who moved to.
That'll do. Nice little nudge. Can't help but look at players' technique and their sort of way. Yet. Well, he has to get... Yes, he's finished low, so now he can at least attack the bunch from here. What a miss. What a miss that is. Yes, he's forcing it, and you can miss those.
The good news for Susa was that he didn't leave a red in. That's one way to atone. Another excellent long red.
Off the pot somewhat. And that was quite a good shot here to try to glance off the 2 reds. That's beautifully played. That's such a clever shot from Ding. I think he saw the 2 reds in such a shape that you could. Head away from the reds if he doesn't pot it. That's very good. That's pushing the red back up. Which he just about has. It's a lovely shot from Ding. I mean, it's a lovely touch once again.
Good pot. He'll be disappointed given how brilliant the open.
Not sure about that shot. Obviously, it wasn't as planned. First. And he's played it gently to hold for a lower value colour than the black's even better. Played on the bottom red this time, which would... It's a wonderful opportunity, this. And he... So now, a brilliant opportunity to...
15.
Well, he seemed to play that with a bit of check side. It's a question of playing safe, putting the cue ball in behind yellow and green. He'd be annoyed, but I think he had to take his medicine there and just
22.
play.
Crikey.
Boy, oh boy. I mean, that will not make him feel any good.
And that's another excellent pot to the centre pocket from Ding. We've seen a few of those.
Possibly a frame-winning chance at the third attempt. Although that's gone wrong. He's fuming going behind the yellow here with the cue ball, which is all well and good, but he'd be hopping mad not to have won the frame there.
Oh dear, the kiss was the last.
He didn't know a lot about it, but can you believe Ding has done that? Surprised he played.
Oh, don't go in off. Don't go in off. Oh. You couldn't make this up, really.
Yeah, exactly. And
Certainly a curious frame, given the number of chances Ding has had to kill it off, but...
so now you feel that this. He's been to look, and well, it appears the cue ball's gone where he was.
6.
It's not great. Didn't look comfortable, did he, at any point there?
Just say 8.
Well, happily for Susa, the red has run.
Well, he's taken the red down that end, but it amounts to virtually the same thing. So very much advantage Ding. We know it's been a... Well, this is very close, isn't it? I suppose if you...
So maybe the balls are going to punish him in that regard. More to the point, Susa has the chance to punish him by...
Played that well, and that was a good shot. Ding is nonplussed. I mean, he's probably looking back at 4 different...
He's the blue as well, to be sure.
That was almost him. He might be old enough to remember that shot. Cost him the match, but not so. Didn't go in.
Not a fair quality by any means, but a vital one for Susa. He desperately needed it. He's had a fair bit of help and looked likely to win the third, but he couldn't take his chances, kept running out of position in the end, albeit that Susa did benefit from the fluke, which he once again apologized of turning this around. So 2-1, first of 4 to go through. The winner to play either Si Junhui or Hossein Vafai, who are in action later here on table 1. As are
all out there, wasn't he? And he might have to just move it ever so slightly if he doesn't think the red will pot and the black's now tight. You've just got to work it out for yourself, really. Now, I think he tried to move the red, but either way... Well, it wasn't simultaneous. It was just a bad shot.
I think he was very mindful. Get rid of the disappointment of the last frame, which he'll certainly feel he should have won.
I mean, it was a difficult shot, the black, don't get me wrong, but... He had so many leaves, which he didn't do anything with. That's not...
Ding Junhui, 12.
Pot goes in, he'd like to be this side of the bulk line, but now second prize is the... He's done pretty well. Really good shot.
And sure enough, and now Ding's missed, and I think Ding is now allowing some of these frustrations.
Front now, because Ding looks completely crestfallen sitting there. He's 2-1 up and not necessarily guaranteed to be brought to level.
Tom Ford has just pulled a frame back, so he's kept his hopes alive. Ford currently in 17th, occupying that 16th and final spot. Carter, of course, is out, having been beaten by John Higgins. So if Ford does lose to Barry...
$18. $25.
Two red pinks means there are 43 in it. So maybe there is a bit of life left in the frame, whatever happens from here. Because I don't think he's going to be playing. So this is the one problem. He's 37 in front,
38.
so he can only go. That would cause different problems for him. Well, he may just roll the dice.
It's very well cued. So Ding Junhui has got to pot this black, and then
well, he needs to get some pace on the cue. It's a bit like a 147 chance, isn't it? Cue power, and that's where you lose your action if you're Ding Junhui. Has he flipped?
Zach looks like he's snookered. You can just feel in Ding the frustrations, because how he didn't win the third frame. And that is the end of the pocket. So what a turnaround in this match. It was all Ding for 2.5 frames, really. Should have been 3-0. And you could...
Absolutely. I mean, you know, in a best of 3 from here, which is what it is, of course, anyone at this level can beat anyone else comfortably. But you really wouldn't be so sure now. He might raise his game, but he's been sort of at odds with himself a little bit.
He's lost to Ding twice this season, as Neil mentioned, that whitewash in Wuhan, and then the 9-6 loss in the semi-finals of the International Championship, which of course Ding went on to win at 2 each. Interesting little idiosyncrasy Ding has in more recent times. Just before he strikes the ball, he actually looks completely away from the...
Back and forward, but not sort of across at something else away from the table. Is bizarre. But anyway, can he convert that into positive energy? Because at the moment, you know, he's not managing quite to do that.
Tom Ford won't be amused at the Crucible. And of course, you've got to be inside the top 16. He's not high enough in the one-year list to play at the Players or the Tour Championship. So names still to confirm, not least Neil Robertson and Sean Murphy, who Barry Hawkins will now play for a place in the quarterfinals here. But Hawkins looking very good. He's been super consistent all season, Hawkins. And I'm sure he'll be eyeing a tilt at the big one. His hand, Barry Hawkins through impressively by 4 frames to 1. And next up on table 2, it'll be Mark. Ding didn't get much work in the cue ball there in attempting that plant, and again that was a shot that it looks like he's gone too.
Looks like he's trying to slip this in. It's very thin. Goodness me, that was a lot thinner than what he hit there. I have to. He's presented a bit of a gift to Ding Junhui just at the moment when I think he really needs one.
I think that's the kind of place that he was in the first 2 frames when he looked very good. Made 78 and 50, only missed 1 ball.
Come on.
No worries for Ding, of course, in terms of Crucible seedings, or indeed 9th place on the official rankings by John Higgins' triumph at the World Open last week.
15.
Higgins back in the top 8, along with his...
Good red to get on the route to the black. He keeps saying it, but he's a masterful player. The touches and the cannons like that one are made to look very easy, but that's the art of playing. Showing frustration today. But he does all this particularly well.
Just a few moments ago, Susa was looking the more likely, but he took on a black which was very difficult and present
45.
expertise in situations like this if he didn't go on now to retake the lead.
Three.
Yes, to in fact retake the lead. He's almost with us because mathematically Susa could tie the frame, but I'm sure that opportunity is not going to be granted him.
Get close, and the cue ball wasn't anywhere close to the balk end, but Susa, having knocked in a red, take the black, which I'm sure now, and hindsight's a great thing, of course, he wished he hadn't, because it's in a process get within one of victory.
Tell you what, it's not that long ago that thin cut that you just mentioned happened. This breaker's been not hanging around here. Maybe some of the frustration of the earlier frame, but just, you know, the speed in which he's taken these, almost some annoyance in
of the season. Happened now for Ding, right back in the groove again.
99.
And if this black goes in, it's career.
Yeah, I think sometimes it's the most difficult thing about snooker is putting the disappointments of what. It's just a very welcome break, that, a century, just when he needed one.
Susa took on a tricky black when he levelled at 2-all, got in early in the fifth, but took on a very difficult pot, and his failure to get it led to fight. A long way off with that one.
Played as well as he can. I suppose it's one of those, if it got to a decider, then he could steal it. But really, you feel that Ding has been the superior player. Yeah, I mean, he did try and steer the cue ball back up the table, but of course you lose control of the red, especially when you double the red, but it didn't. So, chance to sort of put those sticky moments behind him here, Ding, although as he overhit again there. The angle, tough shot. I'll tell you, that's a lot better than it looked, because that was a beautiful little touch there. One touch of red with his cue, of course. No, the black. Oh, that was nowhere near.
Ding Junhui, 15.
His bid to turn this around and score an upset. He's only beaten Ding once before.
Well, it's pretty fortunate to get through the gap, but of course the in-off is not so lucky.
Foul.
It's hard to beat people sometimes that you idolise, but you've got to try and do that at this game.
1.
It could be that he's played his last shot. Oh, goodness. Well. Yeah,
And although he's been heavily outscored in this match,
Six. Fourteen. Point 2.
yeah, coming out into the middle of the table here. And of course, looking at Ding Junhui, he sort of slumped in that chair a little bit. Not exactly played it well.
Eight.
so this is now the highest.
If you're not careful. Well played. Cue ball close to the cushion, but I suppose he wanted. Not sure if that top red, he could get on it perhaps. On the right there, the middle pocket you can see.
And Susa has picked a very good moment to produce his
68. 69.
Remember, he's made 2 maximum breaks this season, so it's been that sort of match for him so far. He's been second best for the lion's share of it, but he's going to be contesting a final.
Angles here to get from brown to yellow. Unsuccessfully, but I don't think it matters greatly. He'd like to make the century, but it's really his mind right for the decider. And it's a big frame for him. To progress in this event would mean a lot.
Susa able to punish Ding Junhui. The winner to play either Wei or Thursday. Still over the best of 7 frames, by the way, and then it's up to the best of 9 for the quarters, 11 for the semis, 19 for the final, and that record.
I don't know. It feels as if he always felt that he would win this match. The way it had been going, not only on status as in the game, but 1 frame, I think all bets are off, really. Anything could happen here.
Yes, given that he was completely outplayed in the first 2 frames, Ding had multiple opportunities to win the third.
He's let his feelings be known out there. He's got to pull himself together if the chance comes. I'm sure he will. He's capable of that. If it was touching ball. Oh, well, he's found the new in off there. Thin off the red, quarter ball on the pink. Well, I mean, it was a dangerous shot to play. I mean, where was the position?
One. Six.
Been playing catch up in the match. 2-0 down should have been more, as we've been saying, but here is the chance to deliver the killer blow. Obviously wants to clear up, but
14.
you know, sometimes you have to maybe lower your sights a little bit and take what's
Him losing the match. But maybe it's a case of the ball's not forgiving you. It feels that way sometimes when you miss chances that you've had.
22.
Mark Allen has ended up dominating that re-racked opening frame on table 2 with Jimmy Roberts.
Well, he's mishit slightly, underhit, missed time. Played it delightfully, actually.
36.
Well, he's gone too far there. That'll annoy him, the pot. Yeah, this is the problem. You see, the pot was not a certainty, and that was a terrific.
Wow, it's just shaved.
Now I'm sure Ding is thinking that today's not going to be his day.
1.
Because Susa.
Well, what a chance this is now for Susa. Black available into both corner pockets. Red's out in the open already, 40s. For what would be a surprise result, particularly given the way the first half of the match went. Season. Susa, on the other hand, making his debut in this event. And it looks as...
He'll be playing up on, I think, the blue here. And that certainly made his task
18.
easier by getting the two. This is what I was saying, you know, the match looked for all the world like Ding was going to win it at some point. But when you get to 3-3, Susa has started to play well as the match has gone on, but not necessarily in the early stages. It's a bit of a shock result, and Ding's gone. He's conceded.